In my absence, somebody called the fire brigade to my house and Gross Trees, and I was very surprised and taken aback by the whole affair. This poem, which is called The Fire Afterwards, reflects a little bit on the work of firemen in the Howth area. The fire afterwards. 3 fire brigades are on the scene of a gorse fire. Poor bees, trying to locate their homes, spinning around, my wherewithal companion. After Nagasaki, skeletal remains, dark, dark the blue smoke, flame haunts the remains of a great front for nature, seen to belie its existence, smoke seen to transcend. The hillocks dare a word to speak for the victims who've gladdened the spirits of the mind. Come into my domain. I'll overreach through and forgive arsonism of a very hollow kind. The Wagtail. This is a poem called Wagtails and Rats. The wagtail fascinates me. It is a cleaner-upper of the streets. Eats all the small little munchkins that you can find on the footpath. And a bit like the jackdaw too. They're both wonderful nature cleaners. This is called Wagtails and Rats. A pied wagtail emerges from the building, hopping, nodding, wagtailing its frontery across the road to another pathway, its tail prodding, nodding up to its head. It's one of our keener road sweepers, up steps, footpaths, a friend of waste. The jackdaw has more pull, trying bins with busyness, a jocular friend who waits till one gets near before he vanishes. Young rats playing in the underground pipes, wherewithal they seek out their eateries under the mulched seaweeds, caught in the plankton on the shore of the strand. One day I was walking opposite my home and spotted a wobbling old rat walking carefully by the wall of the foreshore. I had a large rock and was ready to throw it at the rat. Grace met us both. He let out a human-type cry to be saved, and I rescinded, throwing the rock away and let the critter go. My good deed for the day. This poem is typical of Howth. It's called The Summit. And nearly every tourist seems to find his or her way up there. And I meet them at the top, going down the other side, which is a lovely view of the shore and the open sea and the horizon. The Summit. The stones are hoof-ridden, unauthorized and free. The horses walk, perusing the hard rocks and bits of brick. I am blinded by this high pressure late November sun, a token of peace in our surroundings. I tire in this leg-pull mind, reach the hill of outland dream, and breathe the gentle cold air of Howth. This poem was written up at Dungriffin Villas near a water trough. It's very nice for watching the sunsets. Lovely plateau of light there. Dungriffin Villas, Howth. The shadows of the falling light to where my psyche threads. Moths waver in echo of their flight, bustling in the early darkness. I catch them quickly on the wing, fade between my fingers. Slugs cross paths, leave their silken journeys to the mystics. Images of must, spider spindles, stale growth, grasses turning, sunset above the tips' horizons, language of pink and lavender. A friend walks in stealth, heads to while I locate barriers. Sunfall, sunfall, the gold of orange, of pink, of yellow enshrines. And my father had something to do with this poem called The Kish. He was a marine engineer and he was working in Dunleary at the time when they set the Kish out. It's a giant lighthouse about a mile off the hill of Howth. The Kish. Seeing the watchful eye of the lighthouse, curing the eye of initiateship, the December enhancement of weather combs the wavy grey cloud of strata, pinnacles of Wicklow in grey sulphur, no wind, a waving sea, bird calls. The granite carving silence is the call of blackbird, a song thrush without presence, uncalling, the dead awaiting spring, by the detritus of gorse somewhere along there is the flowering of wild, as stillness absorbs the cold below the upper earth and stone. There is a movement, the uprising of daffodil stalks aiming for the light.